Hey budget gardeners, Vita Loki here. Join me today as I show you how to collect a number of flower seeds. So let's go. One of the biggest ways that I save money in my garden is by propagating my own plants. Not only do I like to propagate my plants through cuttings as well as division, I also enjoy propagating them through seed. As much as I love to buy seeds, I save even more money by collecting my own seeds in the garden. Many of the seeds that I'm showing you today were collected either from my friend Linda's garden or from a local park. I've made a lot of videos on my channel showing my process on how to collect the seeds from other plants as well as how to sow those seeds. What I'll do is put links to those playlists down below. Be sure to check those out. The first seed that I'm going to show you today is from a lettuce leaf poppy. Now keep in mind the seed pod as well as the seeds will be very similar no matter what the kind of poppy plant is that you're collecting the seeds from. You want to wait until the flowers have gone by. Eventually they'll start to create a brown colored seed pod. One way to know that there's seeds inside of the seed pod ready for harvesting is to rattle the seed pod. If you rattle it and you hear little seeds in there shaking around, that's how you know that the seed pod is ready to be harvested. Even though there are perennial versions of poppies, there are many annual versions of poppy as well. One of the easiest ways to grow poppies from seed is to sprinkle them in your landscape or to winter sow the seeds. Just remember, poppies do not like to have their roots disturbed, so you want to be really careful if you are going to transplant them. I've been storing the seeds for a week. You always want to make sure you're storing the seeds completely dry. You don't want to just take them and put them inside of a bag. Let them sit out on a newspaper or a piece of paper and then store them after about 7 days. I like to store my seeds in small plastic resealable bags. I got these on Amazon. You can also use a paper envelope or a paper bag. The key is the seeds need to be dry. As long as they're dry, you can store them in whatever you want. I like to label the kind of seed. So lettuce leaf poppy and the year that I collected the seeds. I put the year there so that I know how fresh or how viable these seeds are. The older the seeds, the less fresh they are. The less fresh they are, the less likely they are that they're going to germinate for you. That's what the top of the seed pod looks like, and most poppies will have seed pods that look similar to this. They might be a little bit bigger, or it might be a little bit smaller. And see these little windows here? When you see the little windows on a poppy seed pod, that's also an indicator that the seed pod has seeds in it. Now the seeds have already fallen out of the seed pod. Had they not fallen out, if I was to shake this, the seeds would start coming out. And that's just a close-up of what the seed pods as well as the seeds look like. When it comes to small seeds like the seeds of poppies, oftentimes I like to use something like a kitchen strainer, and I'll put a bowl in the bottom of the strainer. That just makes it easier to separate the non-seed material from the seed material. And if I had a ton of seed pods in here that were filled with seeds, I could also just shake this around a little bit and that would get it so that all the seeds fall to the bottom of the bowl. And then I can take the contents of the bowl and just pour them onto the paper. The paper is folded in half and it just makes it easier so I can funnel the seeds off of the paper into the bag. I'm going to seal the bag and then I like to store these in a cool, dark, dry location. The next flower that we're going to collect the seeds from is called blanket flower, also known as gaillardia. Even though it's considered a perennial in many zones, it is a short-lived perennial. In other words, you might have it in your garden 1 year and a few years later you notice that it's no longer there. That's what I mean by a short-lived perennial. So in order to make sure that you have this plant at all times in your garden, you either want to propagate it through division or through seed. The gaillardia flower is really pretty and it comes in a lot of different colors. The seeds that I collected were from a red and an orange colored flower. You want to wait until the seed pods have started to turn a grayish white color. They'll look almost fuzzy and that's how you know that they're ready for collecting. Here's what the gaillardia seed pods look like, and that's just a close-up of the seed pod. You can see it looks kind of fuzzy, kind of prickly. And to remove the seeds from the seed pod, I'm just going to rake it around with my fingers like this. And the seeds of the blanket flower are a grayish color with little hints of white on them. So I'm going to do the same thing with the seed pod. Any of this non-seed material is called chaff. I'm going to go ahead and throw this away. And I'm not too worried if there's still some non-seed material mixed in with the seeds. They can all go into the bag now. This next flower, I bet a lot of you have never heard of it. It's called Carolina Lupine. It has a beautiful yellow colored flower and it resembles that of many lupin plants that you might see. In fact, I winter sowed these seeds a few years ago and I do have one plant in my garden and I'm looking to add more of this plant in my garden. You want to wait until the seed pods have turned a light brown or gray color. And they're going to look like little cylinders, upright cylinders. And then you can go ahead and collect those seed pods, and inside the seed pods will be the seeds. Here are the seed pods for Carolina lupine. They started to open up and they've already started to release their seeds. So it's important to try to collect the seed pods when they start to turn this color, but you want them to still be closed. And then you'll notice after storing them for a week, like I've been storing them, they will open up on their own. So as long as you put them on a piece of paper or something like that, they can release their seeds right on top of that. But had the seed pod not opened up yet, what would happen is you would split it open like this and you would find the small little seeds lined up on the inside here. So I'm just checking these over, and then what I can do is I can throw away any of this non-seed material. It's so fun collecting your own seeds and basically getting free seeds this way. What I've found also is every seed pod is different. Some seed pods you want to wait until they're brown. Some seed pods you want to wait until they're green. Some seeds are dust-like in size, and then there are other seeds that are very large. Okay, there were no more seeds left inside of the seed pods because they went ahead and they opened up, so I can throw all this away. And that's a close-up of what the seeds look like. I want you to notice their color. They're a light brown color. If they were a different color, let's say green or white, that would mean they're not mature or they're not ripe. And next to my fingernail, they are pretty small. And I don't mind storing the seeds with the non-seed material. There wasn't too much non-seed material mixed in. I absolutely love this next flower. It's called Cardinal Flower. It's in the Lobelia family and it's so striking with its red color. And since it has a beautiful red color and it has the right kind of flowers on it, the hummingbirds are attracted to this plant. I have a few of these plants in my yard and I definitely want to have more of them, which is why I'm planning to winter sow the seeds this winter. You want to wait until the flowers have all faded and the seed buds start to form. They should be a light brown or a gray color. And it's important to be able to collect those seeds before they burst open and scatter on the ground. Remember how I talked about sometimes seeds are teeny tiny? Well, here's a great example. This is for Cardinal Flower, and I want you to see how small each of these seeds are next to my fingernail. They're like little specks, little red specks. And right next to them, you can see what the seed pod looks like. So many of the seeds have already come out, and honestly, this is more than what I need. Here's an example of one of the seed pods. It's kind of a light brown color, and the top of it is slightly open. And it's hard to see, but if you were to look inside the middle there would be the seeds in the middle of the seed pod. We're going to use the handy dandy strainer and bowl because the seeds are so small. And then I can just squeeze the seed pods with my fingers like this. I think this method works out really well when the seeds are that tiny. And I could also shake it if I need to. And we'll pour the contents out. And given how tiny the seeds are, we are definitely not going to worry about the non-seed material that's mixed in. And I am zoomed way in right now just so you can see the little tiny seeds. Again, they look like a reddish brown color. I love Rudbeckia, and I have the perennial version of Rudbeckia in my yard. It comes back reliably year after year. However, there's a type of Rudbeckia called a gloriosa daisy. It's typically considered an annual. You might have this in your yard and you might say it's a perennial. It comes back year after year. However, each year it drops its seeds readily or it self-sows readily. So it almost gives the appearance that it's a perennial, but it really is an annual or a short-lived perennial. The seeds that I collected were from a number of different plants and they all look slightly different, so I'm excited to see what I get next year. You want to wait until the flowers have faded and the seed pods will be a brown color. But make sure you collect those seeds well before the finches and other birds snack on them. I went ahead and I put the Gloriosa Daisy seed pods inside of the strainer. And that's what the seed pod looks like. You can see it's pretty brown, pretty dried up. And all I'm doing here is just moving things around with my fingers, trying to get the seeds to come out of the seed pods. And then I can shake this. I am zoomed way in, but Just know that we definitely have a mixture of seed and non-seed material in here. But the little black things that you see next to my fingernail, those are the seeds. And we have a ton of seeds here. And just for reference, these little things that I'm pointing to right here, these are actually not seeds. Those are chaff. The seeds are a little bit plumper, like right there. There's one right over there. But like these right here are not seeds. But to spend the amount of time to separate the seed and the non-seed material, in my opinion, is a waste, especially if you're just collecting the seeds for yourself and you're not looking to sell the seeds. The next plant that we're going to collect the seeds from is Canna Lily. I love Canna Lilies. In fact, I've had a lot of success overwintering the bulb or the rhizome year after year. I've also had a lot of success with collecting the seeds. And I showed you in a previous video a little experiment that I did with getting the seeds to germinate. And I have exciting news. The plants not only thrived this summer, they actually bloomed for me. Some people have asked me that before. When you start a Canna Lily from seed, will it bloom the first year? It usually will if you give it enough time. There are certain seed pods that I call cool, and I would say that the seed pod of a Canna Lily is cool. So first of all, you want to wait until the seed pod has turned a brown color and looks like this. If you see the seed pods and they're green, you don't want to pick them. You want to wait until they turn brown and then pick them. If you pick them while they're green, they may eventually turn brown, but there's no guarantee that any seeds will be in there and if any of the seeds will actually be viable. So just be patient and wait until they turn this color. Now I say that this is a cool seed pod because I want to show you why. This looks like a little bird beak if you look at its side profile. And then if you look at the profile head on, it looks like two little eyes. Well, this looks like an open eye and this one looks like it's closed. It's like the little bird is winking at you. And again, there's its bird beak. So you want to wait until the seed pod has turned a brown color and once you see the little bird beak. Okay, then we can open up the seed pod. So you can see so far we've collected 2 seeds. There's a third, and you want to be careful because these guys are going to want to roll all over the place. So out of 1 seed pod, we have collected a total of 5 seeds so far. Oh, there's one more, 6. Out of 1 seed pod, we have collected 6 different seeds. And you'll see that they are a black color. If I press on them, they're very, very hard. These are a fun seed to start indoors, and I will show you this winter my process for starting them. I think it's amazing that each of these seeds will produce a Canna Lily plant, and then eventually that Canna Lily plant will create a bulb for you that you can dig up and overwinter, or maybe depending on where you live, it's hardy in your zone. And not only that, that plant will flower for you and it will produce more seeds. Be sure to follow along when I show you later in the season my process for sowing all of these seeds. Let me know in the comments below if you've collected the seeds from any of these plants. And until the next video, make it a great day with gardening.